Hello, hello, my friends, my magical friends. Thank you for joining me today for this Tuesday live chat, all about superpowers. Well, kind of. Today we are, well, not we, I am wondering what is up in your world. So I'm wondering who is out there, who has a question, who has a comment, what's been up in your world. If not, I'll come up with something. Everyone knows I'll just start talking. So welcome. For those of you that do not know me, I am Dr. Andi. I play in Dr. Andi's world all the time. It's where we invite all of you weirdo pet parents, those empowered pet parents that ask questions, look at things differently, don't just hop in the box with everybody else, really want to do something different for themselves, for their animals, for their life, for their living. That's the world I live in, and I invite you to find your own world. So, hi Neely, hi Sarah, and Sarah says, please talk about dogs getting jealous. Actually, yeah, you asked me about that the other day, didn't you? Do dogs get jealous? Well, what do you all know? Do dogs get jealous? Thank you, Sarah. It's a great thing to look at. Love it. Do dogs get jealous? I know that is something we call the behavior that we see, right? You're petting one of your dogs and the other one busts in and needs a pet too, right? And then that one gets so jealous. Is it actually jealousy as we define it for people? Or is it simply an energy of, I want some of that? It just may be that simple. That's my point of view on it. I don't generally ever refer to another dog, cat being jealous. I think their bodies like to be touched and they simply are like, ooh, I want some of that too. Are some more interested in it than others? Absolutely. We all have what our preferences are, right? Some dogs like to be petted 24/7, right? Hi, Keisha. Welcome. And some are like, as long as you're in the room, we're good, right? As long as maybe I'm like following you at your heels, we're good. We don't necessarily need to be touching. And I guess we're going a little off that, but I always tell the story of Jax, my standard poodle. He's passed now about 5 years now, which is amazing how time flies. And I had my choice when I went to go pick out puppies of 4 male black standard poodles. They all looked alike, and they weren't all that cute. Okay. And so we were there long enough picking out our puppies that they got tired and it was nap time, and he crawled into my lap and cuddled and fell asleep. So he got to go home with me. That was the last goddamn time that dog ever cuddled with me. Like, amazing manipulation. He picked me. He got to come home with me. Worked great. He never cuddled again, which is just hysterical. And yet, he was always under my hand, standing. If I was standing, that's where he was. But cuddle, no. So, they all have their preferences. So we could talk about dogs being jealous. I don't get that that's what the actual energy behind that is. Yes, my magical Jax taught me everything I needed to know about life and living. And probably more. And he's still with me, without a body. Oh yeah, that radio show's coming up October 30th. Animals and entities. What do your animals know? That's going to be so much fun. I love that stuff. So cool. Okay, Keisha asked, do animals see their humans as their property or their pack? And maybe do possessiveness. As part of the jealousy. All right. Well, do they? it's so rotten. And I do that so you all kind of get a sense of the energy. Let's go through that again. Do some animals see their people as their property or their pack? So what's lighter? And this is truly how I use these tools and how I go through life. Okay, what is lighter out of those two things? Their property or their pack? I get, and it's different for everybody. That's the other thing. What is light and heavy for you? And nothing to do with me. What's light and heavy for you? I get that it's their pack. And how have they decided their pack should function? So if they have decided that their pack should function, yes, and this means that has something to do with manipulation, right? And let's say another member of that pack, being a person or an animal, is not doing what they have decided is correct, right? They may have, right? And so is it more, we can kind of bring in that jealousy part, is it less about jealousy and more about the standing in the pack? Whatever they have decided amongst themselves, if you have more than one animal. And they don't even have to be household, daily living together pack. It could be a very transient pack, like at the dog park, right? I do wonder this sometimes, and I would love what you all get. Let's take a dog park, for example, and the dog walks in. Do they instantly know where they land in that transient park of dogs that's at the dog park? And yes, I know there are dog parks that everybody shows up. The certain group of people show up. Well, maybe the dogs throw up, but show up at 3 p.m. every Wednesday, right? And so that becomes a more of a regular deal. But do they walk in and do they know? Do they walk in and know every dog there? Right? Yes, kids on the playground. How often do the kids walk on and know exactly, like they hit those rocks and they go right over to one kid and avoid one? How much more are they willing to be in their knowing than we ever are? We walk into the dog park and we're like, oh, who wants to talk to me today? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. We get into our heads and we start thinking about this. But do our animals just walk in knowing, all right, I'm middle of the pack, above these 8, below these 4. Okay, cool. Let's go play. Or walk in and go, I don't really care. Like, Jax used to walk in. I don't care. I'm top of the pack. I don't need to talk to any of you fools. Where's my ball? I know that's how he walked in. And he did. He used to walk into other people's homes with their own dogs, and the other dogs would go, yes, sir. Because that's how he be. Each trip day, yes. And each trip and day is a new adventure. Yes. Like, we walk in somewhere going, oh, is Mary going to be here today? Because I need to talk to Mary because I don't really know those people and I don't really want to go introduce. The dog's like, who's going to be here today? What if we walked into every room we went into? Who's going to be here today? Who do I get to talk to today? Who do I get to talk to today? Not who do I have to talk to? Oh, who do I have to avoid? Oh, what are we going to talk about? No, who do I get to talk to today? Like, they walk in and go, oh, whose butt do I get to smell today? What news is on that post down there that I love to pee on? There's got to be news on there today. They go in with being the question. We go into places, it doesn't have to be a dog park. We go into places. We walk into our own homes with how it usually is. What's it gonna, it's usually this way. I don't feel so good. What's my husband, we don't even ask what's my husband. I bet he's in a shitty mood. Oh, my kids are going to be loud. Like, we do not walk into anywhere being the question, at least yet. We could try. We could do more of that. But generally, they run around going, who are you? What's up? Right? What grand and glorious adventure will I have today? And you could start using that tool right away. What if every morning you just started asking, what grand and glorious adventure can I have today? I have a very good friend. That's one of her favorite questions. She uses it all the time. And her salutation is grand and glorious. And I love it. Because who else does that? You know, world of the weirdos. That's who we be here. Weirdos with our animals. Weirdos in our life and living. And weird actually back in the day means of spirit and something. It actually doesn't mean or have the same connotation that we have now. And I would love to remember what that actually means. Maybe we'll actually get the definition in a follow-up email somewhere along the way here, or I'll pop it in one of the comments. But it actually doesn't mean the connotation with it, because nobody wants to be weird. And do animals ever consider themselves weird? Do they ever actually, let's go back to jealousy really quick. That other dog that's like, no, you don't get all the pets. I want some. I'm going to get in on this. Let me get in on this action. Do they ever go, oh, am I being jealous? Oh, am I getting too many pets? Oh, maybe I should back up and no, they don't ever judge themselves for it. They just choose it. And do they have any other point of view but choosing it? He's getting pets right now. I'd like some. Cool. Well, and how much has it turned into responding to your energy? We've talked about this a little bit more lately. Responding to your energy. Oh, that one gets jealous. The other one goes, oh, I must do something here. I'll come over and get pets. Oh, don't be too aggressive. Oh, I can be aggressive. I'm jealous. I know what you want. How much is that behavior responding to the energy that you put into the situation already? Your point of view creates your reality. You think you have a jealous dog, you'll have a jealous dog. You think you're going to have a crappy day, you're going to have a crappy day. Your point of view creates your reality. Your point of view creates your reality. That point of view gets projected onto our animals, and because they don't have a point of view, they'll go, okay, I can do that. And how much, all you pet parents out there, secretly, or maybe not even secretly, love it when your animals are jealous. When one comes over and the other one busts in to get pets too, you're like, oh, finally, something on this planet loves me. Secretly or not so secretly. How much do we love that? And you know what? Your animals know that too. They're responding to that point of view. They are responding to that energy that you are being, that you really even know, oh, they shouldn't be so jealous, and oh, don't push your puppy brother away. You secretly love it, and they know this. Hi, Lori. Thanks so much for joining me today. And so they pick up on that too. So, if you actually truly require that behavior to change, A, what if you changed your point of view? And B, stop yammering about it, get up and walk away. My interesting point of view. And I'm not a behaviorist, and I'm sure there's very fancy things you could do out there to change that. But what if you simply change your point of view? That this doesn't work for me anymore. You can even tell them that and get up and walk away and change the situation. But I'm going to go with most of us folks secretly love the fact that our animals love us that much, that they're going to push and jostle and shove each other out of the way to get those pets. And what if that's okay too? None of this is a wrongness. It's just actually, what if we acknowledge what's actually going on, what's actually true for everyone in the situation, for all the beings in the situation. All the cats, all the dogs, all the horses, all the people, all the children, all the everything. Because that's one thing. This is funny that we're going to go here. Because one thing people really don't want is the truth. And acknowledging what actually is the truth. Okay, well, what if they're not being jealous? What if they're actually responding to my need for them to fight over me? Because I need something to prove to me that they love me. And some of that, people will be like, oh, well, that's not cool. I should not have my animals do that, or I should love myself enough, or, but what if it's not a wrongness? What if we just acknowledge that's what's going on? Cool. I love it when my animals fight over me. And that, not fight, but that jostling, that jealousy that goes on. I love it. I love it. I love it. Cool. Why don't you love it even more? And maybe you don't even want to change it. And that's okay too. But acknowledging what actually is that truth, and it doesn't even really match because it truly is acknowledging what is, but the truth, people don't really want the truth. They love living in their fantasy worlds. They love living in the, oh, I really wish my dog would stop being so jealous. It's so annoying. And it's really not to them because there's always a payoff. It wouldn't keep occurring if there wasn't a payoff. And the payoff is that animal is responding to the energy that you be. And that's okay. And then once you acknowledge what is, because so many people are resistant to that, because somewhere, if you acknowledge what truly is, there's this, I think, global assumption that something is wrong. And that's not it either. It's just simply stating what is truth, what is acknowledging what is actually going on. And until you actually acknowledge what is going on, no matter the situation, no matter the beings involved, nothing will change. Neely writes, OMG, I'm so sick of people putting their head in the sand about everything. Everything. They'd rather complain. They'd rather whine. They'd rather be poor little old me. Instead of going, I love the fact that this dog, we're going to keep using the term, doesn't really match the energy, but is so jealous over this other dog. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's, just acknowledging that. Cool. Now, is it escalating? Is it actually a problem when you go out in public? Does something need to change? And then once you acknowledge, you can change something. It's kind of amazing to me that thank you again, Sarah, for the topic. That topic and that example, spread everywhere. I love where we went with that. And Sarah also put truth is spoken. Well, does it actually have to? I get what you mean there, Sarah, and thank you. I'm going to take that, but does it actually have to be spoken? You don't have to then, when you take a look at this situation, I'm just going to go with this example, what we're talking about. You acknowledge that, okay, let's say you secretly love that your two dogs jostle for your attention when you come home. And it's slowly escalating into not just fun for them anymore. It's getting a little growly. It's getting a little uncertain as to what's going on in that situation, not for the dogs, okay, with you. What was I sorry, I had some things pop up here. I'm like, where was I going with this? So, and you're not, and you stand there and you go, okay, this isn't cool anymore. Okay. This isn't just fun and games. This is escalating somewhere I would not like it to go. And you acknowledge how much you enjoyed it, that they would jostle for your attention. You acknowledge that to yourself. You don't have to go around telling everybody. You don't have to tell the neighbor. You don't have to tell, you could just be just for fun. Don't tell anyone, just for you. I really love that. I really did. It meant that they missed me. It meant all these things that it actually doesn't mean. It doesn't actually mean shit, but, we have our stories and you have decided it meant something. Awesome. And you can go through your list, write it out. It meant this, it meant this, it meant this to me. Cool. I want to change that now. So what energy do I need to be here that would change all of this with Total Eats? What energy is required of me? And maybe you do need to talk to, who else do I need to talk to about this? What do I, whatever. Then you ask your questions. But nothing changes until you acknowledge what is. The story keeps you in it. Yeah, we love our stories. Love our stories. One of the it used to be called the Ten Commandments. They're not called the Ten Commandments anymore in Access. That was a joke. Cattail. One of the 10 superpowers, let's go with that, in Access is don't buy, tell, or sell the story. So what stories of yours have you continually bought, continually tell, and continually sell to people? As your, I'm going to use your term, Sarah. I know that's not what you were referring to, but that you continually, use as your truth. Is it actually true? Is it actually truth? Some of it may be true for you, but how much of you is stuck in that story? All your excuses, all of your justifications, everything that it means to you. 10 keys. Thank you. Thank you, Keisha. And then we get into story. And I talk about story a lot and how much it locks you in. And we can go all the way back to the beginning of this, that jealousy is a story. We all know the story of jealousy, right? We all have the connotation. We all have the meaning. We have all the judgments. We have all the limitations. We know what that word supposedly means in this reality. That locks us in. So what if you started simply with what actually is going on here with my animals and see what it creates? This was fun. I'm so glad you all showed up and asked a question. How amazing is that? So I invite you every week to show up and ask a question. Would love to hear more from you out there in the world. What is all, maybe we'll start with what's up with you all the time. Thank you, Sarah. That was fabulous. It went universes. It was fabulous. I love it. Thank you for joining me today. Couple things coming up. Dr. Andy's World on Friday is, the Joy of the Dead. Okay. We simply named the show The Joy of the Dead because it made us laugh. That's it. I have no idea what's going to come up. I have somewhat of a game plan. I'm going to put some processes together. So if you are new to Access Consciousness and Processing, check out the show on Inspired Choices Network, Friday, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to play with that and the Joy of the Dead because we do have a Halloween theme. And to play on that, our free call of the month or free masterclass, I don't know what the hell we're calling it. Who cares? Also in the Halloweeny theme, seasonal. When the fairy tale becomes your nightmare. It's a one-off, probably hour-long call using the tools and processes of Access Consciousness to look at relationship. Your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, your kid relationship, your animal relationship. We're going to look at relationship. And that is October 27th, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is free. Because I'm crazy like that. We do need you to register. And I think we're still working on that landing page. So it's coming. It's coming. We'll get there. We've been running. Technology has been so much fun this last week. And if you didn't notice, there is no live from last Tuesday. I know I did one for about 18 minutes. I guess I talked to myself with a frozen face on Facebook. Our fancy technology through BeLive did not work last Tuesday. I guess there was 4 minutes and then I froze. So that's been pulled. Now, the funny thing about that is we were talking about fun and nobody wanted any fun. Technology didn't want any fun. It was so funny that was the topic. So we will not be talking about having any more fun on these live chats. It's just not allowed. Nobody have any. It sucks. Everyone should be very, very, very shifted to an alternate dimension. Something, because I know I did a live. So maybe the aliens took it and they were listening. I'm not sure. But yeah, no more fun. Everyone needs to be very, very serious. We're at very serious times here in the U.S. I'm kidding. Okay. What if the planet, the animals, and the people are just bloody asking for some laughter on this planet? Yes, the alternate dimension and the aliens were willing to have more fun than the human and the humanoids on planet Earth last week. Fun is a 4-letter word. Yes, Keisha, thank you. She had so much fun writing these emails, and then the whole thing went bloop. It's classic. Classic. And then we had this whole technology turnover in the radio show. So we have been doing the technology like scramble all last week. So we're a little behind in getting our proper landing pages in place. But that call will be going off when the fairy tale becomes your nightmare. I'm so excited. That one also because we wanted to have some fun. So y'all can be serious. I'm going to have some fun. I think Keisha's going to have some fun. And we're going to just play and create in Dr. Andy's world. All right, my friends. Phew. It was funny after I cried. Oh. Neely's like, we have to follow the New World Order agenda or we'll get censored. I think that's been kind of going on for a while. What's it going to take to change all that? With total ease, joy, and glory. All right, my magical friends. Thank you for those that made it live. Thank you so much for all of you folks that catch this on a replay. How does it get even better? And if you have any comments on the replay, pop them in there. Facebook lets me know, mostly. I will keep an eye out for them. We can continue the dialogue. Would love your input. And I would love to see you next week. Oh, and on Friday. And, got things going on. So until we meet again, my friends, how much fun. I'm trying here. How much fun can you have with your animals? Bye-bye. Mwah.